Welcome, welcome.
That's the sound of people making money right there. That's what that is. That's what I'm starting to like feel that music. I'm like, people are making money.
Closing deals, baby.
Closing deals, man.
Episode 16 of the Closer's Mindset.
Right.
Let's close one more sale.
One more sale, baby.
One more sale a week.
Should we redo the math there for people who are wondering, like, why do I listen to this again?
Why? So you can close more deals.
Close more deals. Because what does one more sale a week do?
Or you have something to listen to while you're riding to the lead, other than the BS on the radio or something else. Just something fun,
Something fun.
something different.
But I mean, our whole thing, you close one more deal a week, you're up 40 grand a month in your sales potentially on average, 30, 40 grand.
Just gives you that extra
Gets
edge.
the extra edge on your, man.
Think about that one deal that got away from you. You close that deal.
Yep.
And that's what today's episode's about, staying in the close.
What do you mean by that? Lynch?
Don't leave the close. Don't leave too
But
early.
they're kicking me out.
Did they? Did they ask you to leave, or did you think you should leave because you're like, what do you
You're
think?
uncomfortable or
Are you uncomfortable? Yeah, it happens quite a bit.
Or if you're not prepared to overcome their objection, you take their objection as a no and you leave.
I think this is where most reps get very uncomfortable, is when you get to the close. And if you can learn to be comfortable in the close when you're presenting your price, because the customer's uncomfortable then too, right? They're anxious.
Yep.
And all you got to do is remember your customer too. You buy things all the time. Remember how you feel and the anxiety that you get. They're feeling the same thing. So they're just hoping and praying for whatever price that you have preconditioned them for.
Right.
So make sure you precondition them for the right price. Set yourself up for success. Don't set yourself up for an uphill battle. I remember one time I price conditioned somebody at like 10 grand.
And it was 20.
And the job came in. Yeah, like it was like 17 grand. And it's like, that's an uphill battle.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't close that one.
Yeah, no, you rarely do. Sometimes you do, where you're like, you can justify it away as,
Well, yeah, if you're
you added the
close-
privacy glass or whatever, $7,000 privacy glass.
Well, that was before we'd added the soffit and fascia in,
Yep.
or something
Yep.
else there, or just a number of things. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't count the right
Your fixtures or
you didn't count the right amount of units, or you didn't count the right squares, or you didn't add in the extra products, or they changed the finishes, or whatever the case may be.
right.
There's a million and one mistakes that can happen. But the
To
key
that point,
is,
there's a million things you should have done up until this point
yeah.
to set
But
yourself
even
up
if you
for
don't
success.
do those things, let's just say you fumble all the way through it, and it's a clusterfuck, and you go through the close and get to the close and everything, but get to it, present it, and ask. And when I say ask for the business, I do not mean, what do you think? Not at all. You can't say, what do you think? You have to give them.
I thought you were asking me, what do I think? I was
No,
like,
I'm
I
not
don't-
asking what
I don't-
you think.
I don't know what you think.
I'm saying when you get to that customer and you give them the price, and I've sat there and watched people just...
How does that feel?
"Yeah, okay.
Right?
What is that? What do you think of that number? Oh, I think it's a lot of money. Well, tell me.
Right.
It doesn't. It should be smooth. It should flow. It should have some umph to it. You should present it, and you should be confident, regardless of what the cost is. If it's at your 1 year price, because everybody has this one big number retail cost, or your MSPR cost, or
Right.
this is before discount, whatever number you come up with, and then you give your discounts, and then you show them what the cost is, but you ask for the business. So moving forward here, which way would be better for you? This monthly payment, or putting this down and paying cash? And then what do you do next?
Shut up.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Right there. Just shut up. Let them talk. Because if you start talking, then now you're not giving them opportunity to get the objection out. See, closing is an art. It's not just closing and that. I expect an objection. If I don't get an objection, they're great. I did my job. They're ready to move forward. Awesome. But why wouldn't we want to prepare for that objection, right? Just like preparing for the presentation. So prepare for the objection. Prepare for it when you ask them, does this or this work better? And they say no, or they give you whatever the objection is. Now you can ask again, right?
100%. And that's that's the
And
thing.
how many-
we
how many
know
bro-
what they're going to say ahead of time. You know what they're going to say. We have a short list of things they're going to say in those moments.
If you tailor it, correct.
I'm
But
getting
you
other
have
estimates,
to
or I'm
tailor it to that individual, and you have to guide them to that as well. If you know where your objection is going to go, guide them. Don't leave it open so you can open a can of worms and they can share every story under the
Right.
sun.
This is where you don't ask, and we've talked about this before, an open-ended question.
No, never want to ask an open question here.
You're asking close-ended questions that you know the answer to, so that you're controlling the outcome of what they say.
I've done it myself, and I've watched reps when I've been in the home as well. Go through that close, get off the close, talk about other subjects, and then go back into the close again, very, very smoothly, and flow with it to the point where it was just a natural conclusion as I went through it. Customer never called onto it, shared a story, and we're able to close the deal. But it's staying in the close and not giving up. The biggest part of I can say about closing is not giving up. Regardless of how foolish it may be, if you're carrying, it's like you're carrying the football to the end zone. Even if you drop it and you pick it back up, you still scored a touchdown, right?
Right.
All right. Even if you had to jump over something, or you guys, had to go to the third down and you got it in at the third down, you still got in, right?
Or you watch those running backs that get hit 8, 9, 10 times, and they're still trying because they're not down yet.
That's the same thing. So you're still trying. I'm not saying piss off the customer and make them upset and cause issues, but until you've made that uncomfortable situation. Have you ever been in that situation, by the way?
100%.
Where where it was uncomfortable, or you overstayed your visit?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Have you ever been say, you need to leave now, son?
I haven't had quite the...
No?
I've heard those stories.
No.
I haven't had anything quite
Come
that
on.
bad yet.
You've never had that happen?
No, because I kind of almost make light of it in the close at times when I can tell someone's really uptight. I'll just be like, listen, I'll put the price down and say, like, do you want me to leave, or should we keep talking? You know what I mean? Kind of the takeaway where they're like, well, I don't want you to leave. Oh, so we should keep talking then, But no, I haven't had that aggressive of a get the F out of my house.
They didn't say that, no, but I've had it where they were, they were asking me to leave politely. Yeah, I've overstayed my welcome. That's one too many times.
I've felt overstaying my welcome.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That
It's a fine line.
Push the envelope.
But you got to push it. To find the line, you got to push to find the line.
And I'm not saying this to say, oh, you got to be a pushy salesperson, but you better push that procrastinator and getting them to do something that they're going to call back in 2 years to do if they don't do it now, or they'll do it with somebody that'll rip them off and do a bad job. I mean, stay in the close. Ask for the business. So you closed the deal today, right?
I did.
You did? How many times did you ask?
Probably like 3 different times.
3 times, right?
I think that's isn't that the number? Like, at least it's going to take 3 times on average asking before you get a yes. That's about what it took today.
It can take 3. They always say, 5 times. You have to ask 5 times before they say yes.
Yeah.
I'm always a big believer in why not say yes the first time, but future.
I love that. Yeah, 100%.
Future on.
He told me early on in my appointment, when I was trying to price condition and also condition him to the fact that I was going to ask for his business and that was a normal part of my job, and he said, oh, hold it there. Cause I was talking about, hey, if you're ready to go, this is a great time to get on our installation calendar today. I use the word today, and that just sparked something, but it's a pointed word, and it caused a pointed response from him, which was his objection on the table at the beginning of our appointment before at the end. If I had not gotten that out of him then, he would have brought it up at the end, and I would have been screwed.
So good. Tell me more. Because
at the end, that would have been his first time. Instead, he said it, and I could tell as I said, okay. He said, I got to tell you, I'm a straightforward guy. I got to get 3 estimates. This is just what I do. How does that feel to any of you listening? Like that's what he does? And that's how it's going to be? He's
a military.
Gotten that
objection.
He's a Marine.
So many times,
and I'm sitting there like, I could be like, oh shit, here's a Marine. Just,
he's going to put you in a sleeper hold. You'll never be found again.
He's like, this is how it goes for this guy. And all I said was, yeah, that's fine. I understand. So anyway, back to, I just kind of went back to it. But what that did was I disarmed his objection. I didn't overcome it, but I disarmed it by not being like, whoa, don't you think if you found value today, I didn't fight that battle then.
Oh.
I just disarmed it with I understand. Back to the walk around here. Let's talk about your windows. What are you looking for? And by the time we got to the close, that wasn't an objection to put on the table. It had been simmering on the table, and now it was lukewarm coffee instead of hot coffee that he didn't want anymore. anything to do with that objection. That was my metaphor for tonight. But I mean, it still took some oomph because
So coffee's for closers, not lukewarm, just nice.
that's right.
Coffee.
Nice.
I like it.
It's kind of backwards if the objection is hot coffee anyway. So I put the price down and I just shut up. I said, here's the thing. I don't show the price until I go through the value of everything the project has to offer.
So say that again, because that's real important.
I don't show the price until I go through the value of everything the project has to offer.
And how long would that be typically?
This is something that when I remember my first company, I was probably 6 months in, and I had a guy follow me, my manager, and he said, you need to work on this. You could do this much better before you lay down a price, because I felt so uncomfortable doing this. Now I'll take a whole minute before I get to my price saying, all right, so you remember, we got this and this. These are the colors. Remember that one room over there had the unique situation? We're going to do that there, right? Just walking like through every detail. And today it literally took a minute.
That's important because too many times, and myself included, I've done this in the very beginning, early on, is I'd put the price down. And as I have the price down, I'm telling them all about it. And all they're doing is thinking about that price. They're not hearing it.
They're not
all
listening.
They're hearing is Sesame Street.
15,000, 15,000, 15,000. That's exactly what they're hearing.
That's it, dude.
Dude, that's exactly what they're hearing. One ear is hearing 15,000, 15,000.
And that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that is so funny.
So it's like a delivery. It's like
Yep.
laying out the red carpet, right? And at the very end, boom, here it is.
Yep.
You get all of this for only
What?
boom.
Because it's tempting to want to say, oh yeah, so I got everything done here. Boom. Which includes da 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 da. That's not
the
how
last
it's gonna go.
time to put dollars to the price that you're about to deliver.
Right.
That's the last time to put value to that. That's the last time that you can show them it's worth every cent that you said it was worth.
Yep. And
That's-
reminding them these were their choices.
Yeah.
That's another time to do that
That
too.
they
is,
did this, that,
remember
and
you
the other.
chose that? Okay, so that's in here. Remember you chose that? So it's affirming to them, I made these choices.
And I built this,
I
and
built
this.
this.
Yep. And it's all they're owning it, and this, that, and the other. And
And then I go, boom. And now if you might have a price presentation that's got, your price 30-day today or whatever kind of structure there, and I try to get through that down to the bottom as fast as I can because I know they're looking. So I would say, here's my retail, but I tell you what, after all my discounts, I'm down to this. And that's what I did. I literally said, and I'm down to that. And I didn't
it's
say a
interesting.
word.
So there's a couple different, trains of thoughts there. I have buddies that will give the price up, right? And then go through all the discounts and go to the very end.
My
Boom,
first
right there.
company tried to say sell at retail. Don't
So
even talk
there's other
discounts.
there's other schools, same thing, excuse me, say hold that price. Let it simmer. Let it simmer for
Yeah.
a while and then drop it down, drop
Yep.
it down, drop it down.
I
And
try not to show my discounted price. I like to reveal it. I have a way to reveal it. Let's put it that way.
What do you mean by that?
Where you just see let's just say the retail is 30 grand,
Okay.
and I have a button that I press, or some guys might scroll down or reveal more of the paper or whatever.
So it shows more. Gives
So
them,
it
shows them the
shows
discount.
more as I'm talking through that presentation. So it's saying, boom, here's my 30 grand. Now that is absolutely one way. And I understand why they tried to teach me that way in my first place. Cause you say, would you like to get started? You're getting one of their no's out of the way. When they only have 3 no's. They got 9 lives or whatever. You know what I mean? They got 5 no's to give. Doop, they're down to 4. Cause they go, no, I thought you told me about this. Oh, you know what? I had that in there. Sorry. So yeah, apply the discounts for you. Boom, we're here.
How about now? Yeah,
about now?
right.
Would
It
you
looks
like
good
to-
now, doesn't it? You want to go now?
Right. Yeah.
No?
No.
Oh.
no.
Okay. Let me call my boss.
Yep.
Let me call my boss. All right. Is that what your next one? Your turnover? Is that what they did to you?
I never had the force call my boss. I leave that as an absolute last resort in case I can tell they're
I
negotiating.
can't
with me.
remember who I was talking to, but one of my buddies has a friend of his who works for a company, and they got to do 3 calls.
3 boss calls per appointment.
per appointment.
Oh man, I'm like, dude, I would hate to be a manager there. You got 20 different sales guys trying to call you for the boss call.
Just a boss call. 3 boss
Oh.
calls at a house. one boss call for me is sometimes too much. I may do a boss call. I may do a TO, but that's so old school, man.
I do it like
my,
today.
my,
I
look,
did
my
it.
buddy right now, where he's a manager right now, they do TO calls to this day.
Yeah.
They do TO calls at the last ditch effort. They're doing it at that end, doing that's one of their last closes. It's a
Right.
and like if a rep doesn't call in, dude, it's a problem.
Right.
It's a serious
Yeah.
So tell me why. Tell me why you felt that you didn't need to call in for the turnover call. You thought you were smarter. Oh yeah. Oh, they could. Woo.
I've heard of guys not even calling the manager. They call their friend or whatever just for quote unquote. Like, I talked to my superior. He's been there a day longer than me.
Yeah, those are the companies
You know what
that they do. When I was just in, and I was just managing something in Pennsylvania, and I was with this guy, and we were going to a home, and he was trying to do a TO call, right? Call again. And this is way back when. Picks up the phone, right? Well, the lady had picked the phone up in the kitchen. You can hear him, and this is, it's just it doesn't have. There's nobody on the other line. He's talking like he's talking to somebody, right, the whole time. Oh, and then he's like, "Yep, got it all approved, right?" The lady comes walking in and bust him him out right there. She's like, "I was on. You weren't even on. Nobody's on the other line." Oh my gosh, it was freaking hilarious.
That
I'll
is
never forget it.
nuts, dude.
It was so funny. It was the funniest thing. The customer busted.
Oh my gosh, man. That's why you step outside. You know what I mean?
Or if you're gonna do it, make it real.
Yeah, make it legitimate.
Make it legitimate. Make it real. But not to get off. Let's go back to staying in the close. So if you got to do a CEO call, call your boss. Do that. Stay in the close one more time. Who cares?
Yep.
What's the worst gonna happen? They're gonna say no.
Yep.
I wouldn't be married right now if I didn't stay in the close.
Especially if
Listen right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
I would not
You
be
told them.
married if I didn't stay in the close,
Yeah.
okay? I asked like at least 15 to 20 times and finally got the yes.
Right.
And it kept on closing. So that kind of goes back to that ABC we always hear, always be closing. Yes, you too always want to be closing. And you, especially in the very end, even if you F it up all the way through your entire steps and it's just a clusterfuck, who cares? Close, ask for the business, and ask with intention.
You never know why they're going to buy. That's the thing. You can't be like, oh, I messed it up.
They might buy anyway.
I had a lady today. I was signing
And if they
up the
say no,
contract.
say no problem. I understand.
Yep.
What's preventing you from moving forward today? Ask.
What's preventing you?
What's the worst thing they're going to say? They're going to say, well, I'm just not going to make a decision because I don't want to. Or they're going to say,
They're
give me
gonna say,
estimates or this. Who knows what they're going to say, but you don't know.
If you messed it up that bad, they might say, I didn't really understand your product demo. What didn't you understand? Now you can kind of like overcome that. What was it you missed?
They're not going to tell you that.
I know. I'm just saying, but you never know what to expect. I had a lady today. She was signing up, and I was like $8,000 over my competitor. Think of that, $8,000 more than my competitor, and she signed up with us because I took my shoes off when I came in. The other guy didn't, and she said, I as soon as he walked in, I knew he wasn't getting my sale because he didn't. He had boots on it, not even shoes, boots. Didn't take them off. Didn't respect my floors.
I'm telling
if
you
he's
right
the face
now,
of the company and he
that's
doesn't respect,
huge. It's the little things.
she said he's the salesman. He's supposed to be the face of the company. What else am I going to get after him?
Remember we talked about that way back when why people buy?
Why people buy?
I'm telling you, that's stay in the close, stay in the
And
presentation.
even though I met her today for a signing, I could tell that she was still thinking about that guy. So I'm still closing, even though we had a verbal to sign, but nothing signed yet, bro. So I'm still closing. I'm listening like, yeah. Well, hey, my final measurement guy's about to show up. I'm going to make sure he takes off his shoes, reinforcing that's what we do here, But yes, stay in the close. That's exactly what happened today. I ended up
third time. So the guy doesn't buy today, all right? You gave him the price. He says no, all right?
So I still got to get my other estimates.
So tell us more about it. What happened there after that?
And I said he was kind of like, he paused for a while and looked at the price, didn't communicate with, it was funny, didn't look at his wife at all, and just was like, I still feel like I need to get these other estimates. I still didn't say anything. I was like, I understand. I let him sit there another probably minute, not even kidding on time, just sitting there in silence looking at my screen, and he said, do you mind stepping outside for a while? 100%. Sure, I'm out of here. Let me grab my phone. I got emails to answer anyway. So just call me back in when you're ready. He porch light closed me. which is my favorite. Like we talked about that. When they're doing it to you, you're gonna get the sale. And eventually he calls me back in, and I'm like, so? Oh, that's so? Like that to me is like not how are you feeling or what do you think? It just so. And he says, I still want to get one more. We really like this and we really want this. That's exactly what he said. We really like this. We really want this, but I still want one other estimate to compare it to. And at that point, I was like, what are we doing here? You want it, right? And he goes, yeah. Then what are we doing here? What is it going to take? I mean, if I do, like, what do I got to do? And so I was like, if I do this X, Y, Z, will you? And he said, well, yeah. I said, let me just go call my boss, confirm, because it was something we don't typically do. My boss was like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Not a big deal. Came in, got everything going.
I like it. So that in that case, he did to you.
That's a big thing that my first trainer, which I can't wait to get this guy on the show, man. He is sick. Like everyone, and he's got this cool accent. It's going to be nuts. I want to fly him in. I don't want to phone him in. I want to fly him in. You're going to love him, dude. But he would always just say, give him the, if I, will you?
If I could, would you? That's what it is.
Yeah.
If I could.
If I could,
So,
would you? There you go. Yeah.
I'll never forget when I first used that close years ago. I sold somebody that was on unemployment. So they didn't have a job. They're on unemployment. They didn't have any money to put down. And I still hadn't filled out a credit app, put unemployment on there and what they make, and they got approved. But it all happened, and I would have never known. I said, if I could, because we required a down payment, it didn't matter whether they finance or it was cash. So if I could get this done, 0 down, and that, would you move forward? And then I shut up. And he sat there for like 2 minutes, and he said, man, you're making this difficult. Okay. Then I did my call, like you said. Boom, got it approved, 0 down, sign up the order. And, you know, it also brings you back. So here's a little sales nugget we're going to give here. So we're going to go over the getting other estimates again. We did a podcast on it, but we're going to have multiples on that and have people talking about it. But here's a good takeaway that you could use in the home. All right, so everybody talks about getting other estimates all the time. You hear that objection all the time. So here's an easy way to just beat this estimate, this getting other estimates shit up.
Yeah.
So in your product prezo, okay, whatever your product is, I don't care what it is, okay? You got this widget you're selling, right?
Right.
You go, here, folks. You know, one of the good things and great things about our company is has designed this to really make it real easy for you and give you all the estimates you need while we're here. That way, it frees up your time so you can spend more time doing the things you'd like to do. And this is what our company is able to do because we can give you estimates for this, 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 and this. And now you as a consumer feel comfortable because you've gotten your estimates, right? So we're giving them the estimates there. We tell them we're giving them estimates. They feel comfortable. Now I've given them the estimates and the cost of all those and my products including in there as well, right?
Right.
And then out of these estimates, out of these products, which one, they're making that decision.
Yeah.
But if you include it that way that they feel like they've gotten their estimates, they've done their shopping, they now know, because the only reason why somebody wants to really get an estimate is because they're not 100% sure that you're the right company, right product, right solution, right price for them.
Right person.
What person?
Yeah.
People buy from people they like. Argue that all day long. All day long, people buy from people they like.
Yeah.
That's why you want to stay in the clothes.
Well, my last company, man, no one knew it. Small family-owned business. No one knew us. So I didn't have brand recognition coming in. So all those sales were based on liking me.
Isn't it a big difference working with a company that doesn't have brand recognition versus the one that do?
Big difference.
Big difference. So all the cats out there working for the small mom and pops, for the ones that don't have the big company names, all right? Because I've been there and I've done that, and it's not the same. It's different. When you're going in there and you're really having to pitch a company story, when you're having to go in and talk
Right.
about it, you just can't go, well, I work for, boom, this company, and you're already, like, certified for
Yeah.
that company, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. It's a family name, whatever, right? No, you're ABC company of America, right? Yeah. And now,
That's exactly-
and you're like,
Of
okay.
America.
And now you're trying to like tell them all this story. There's several companies I worked for where we had to
Yeah.
just give this story and you know, show them and really go through it. And they bought because of the rep, because the rep was the face of the company.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the person. So just like that lady didn't buy because of her shoes. Not, it happens all the time.
Right.
It could be just because you paid attention to the one person, not the other.
Yeah.
So again, we're squirreling off as we always do. We're talking about staying in the close, but this is what good closers do.
Yeah.
Okay, we squirrel off in all different areas all the time.
As soon as we said stay in the close, I got this visual of like being a goalie, and you got the freaking striker coming at you with the ball, and you don't move until you see where he's kicking the ball. Like that's what we don't mean like stay in the close as in like be annoying and overstay your welcome and push too hard, because you can sense I'm just talking about not leaving. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. Just don't do leaving. Like don't leave.
Well,
that's the visual I get in my mind.
If you get the closing system, then you got it down.
Right.
Because once you have that down, see, just like the steps to a sale, there's steps to a close. And if you can work out that step and you can work out that flow and have those 7 core closes, just come see us on that Be a Better Close webinar.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll learn more about it there. We'll tell you all the good secrets there. You'll get to hear a lot about it here, but there'll be a little more in depth on that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I mean, I think we're learning a lot as we go.
It's evolving.
It's evolving. And I think we're just learning that that's where a lot of the detailed training can be, because this is a podcast.
This is just to shoot the shit and have fun.
Right.
There, we're going to dive deep and do a little boot camp.
Exactly.
On it, to where we really give you a systematic approach on how to close. This is where we just give you little nuggets, shoot the shit, talk about the day, talk about the road warrior, windshield time, get a little bit of sun. It was a nice day out today, too.
Oh, it was great. Unless you're listening to this in December, you don't know what we're talking about. But
well, anyways, I think we're gonna finish it up here. Just remember, stay in the close. Ask just one more time. So just that one last ditch effort. I always would say like the Columbo close, the doorknob close. This is the old school stuff where we just say, one more question for you, and then say, if I could, would you? And then shut up and see what they say. Just try it. Try it on your next demo no sale. What do you have to lose, right?
You have nothing to lose.
You have nothing to lose. Just try it on your next one. And don't be pushy about it.
Right.
Just be real simple. Something new. If I could, would you?
You know what? One time I actually had gotten about half a block away, and I realized I missed something and turned around and went back and said, listen, I just remembered this. Does that change anything for you? Could we get started with this new information? I don't remember. I just remember doing that. But what did I have to lose? Absolutely nothing. And it was a genuine, like, hey, it's just been 2 minutes. So whether you want to call that a doorknob close or I had left that's pretty much what it is. You got nothing to lose. You don't wait. Yeah, you got nothing to lose. Stay in there.
Nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. Go for it.
Everything to gain, nothing to lose.
Just do it. We're so afraid as sales reps at the end to just be like, oh, okay. I'll email to you. They're going to buy. I'm telling you, they're going to buy. And I'm getting blue because I'm holding my breath.
Right.
They're not going to buy. They don't. Oh, I know. You're going to tell me yes. Follow up. All right. Enough. Until next time, until the next episode, we're out.
Peace.